All right, ladies and gents, it comes down to this. We need to paint this thing. I'm getting it done today. I think we might paint the whole hood. I wasn't going to, but there's some chip marks in it that are just going to show through if I don't paint it all. So I think we're just going to go ahead and paint the whole thing. We're going to go over everything with sealer first. I'm trying to keep it cool in here because it is warm. It's very warm out and I don't want it to get too hot. We're keeping the humidity down with a humidifier, and I have the air conditioner running on the other side. Everything's masked off. I wiped everything down probably 3 times now, like over the week, just because I figured dust was collecting on it. So there was more dust right there. But I'm going to wipe everything down again. I still need to set up my door setup, but I don't want to do that right now because I'm going to let heat in. I'm going to do that last minute. Sealer, base, and clear. I'm going to use a step ladder and a step stool to get the hood because the hood's up a little high for me, and you don't want to be, you know, hanging over everything. Right here, I can get pretty close to the center. I can lean on this fender if I need to, but I'm painting the other fender, so I can't do that. So I'm going to have the step ladder on the other side, and I'll move it closer to the fender. That way I can lean over the step ladder and spray it and know that I'm not going to put my knee or something into that fresh paint. Now, as for guns, we were using 3 top-of-the-line Harbor Freight guns. So I just got this one. This is a brand new gun for me. This is the top-of-the-line gun you get at Harbor Freight. This is next to top of the line, and then this is middle grade. It's like their first professional series. I'm doing the sealer with this. This is for base coat and paint coat right here, and then this is for clear coat. I was gonna splurge and get the Black Widow clear coating gun too. Might do that later on, but right now I'm just like, for this truck, I want to get a good paint job on this thing. All new parts on this one. I feel like this regulator is not working. I'm gonna have to check that. But everything I need for this is right here. Minus I got another cup I gotta get out. Boys, it's been a long time since I've been in the garage messing around with vacation and then just taking some time off and stuff. It's just like I'm just now getting back into it, and I need to hit it hard, and this tarp is covered in dust. I gotta spray it down along with the floor and everything else, so I'm gonna get my sprayer out and spray everything. But if you guys didn't watch the last video, my poor Subaru, oh my poor Subaru. I'm still driving it, but actually I drove the Infiniti today, but the Subaru is still running good, but she don't sound good. Now when I'm painting, I go through this process every time. I come over to my this is honestly about the smallest tank you can get away with for painting, and it's still not quite big enough, but I drain this, so get underneath here, and after that I gotta dry my hand off normally. Then this is my new filtration system that I got. I'm gonna take this off, clean the moisture out of this. As you can see, it's all wet in there right now. And then this desiccant right here is all pink. That means it's already absorbed moisture. So I have new beads right here. I'm going to throw in this so it absorbs the most of the moisture. And I can normally do a full paint job with that, doing that one time. I will tell you, this filtration system I got works way better than the last one, because the last one I might have a little bit of moisture, but I never dumped out water that was in it. Look how much water's in that. So yeah, this filtration system works a lot better than my old one. Now in all reality, that should be a dark blue, but I've had these for a while and they're about gone, so they kind of faded over, absorbed moisture over time. But we got most of the moisture out of this now. It's a lot. You don't just slap a gun on a compressor and just spray. You're gonna have problems. This is how you get a good paint job, I think. I don't know, I'm not a professional. I hope it's good. But at this point, we need to wipe everything down now and go from there. Ideally, if you're gonna be spraying, you want like a clean environment. This is not a clean environment at all. I'm in a garage, an open garage, open installation. So we're gonna try our best to get the best result that we can. You know how people pay all that money to get epoxy floors, like epoxy painted floors? You don't even have to, like, if you're doing paint jobs like this, you don't even have to worry about it. Like, I was spraying it and I heard a different noise on the concrete. Look at this. Look at this. The floor's painted. Huh? What do you think of that? So everybody told me I needed to get epoxy painted floors. And, I mean, this is what they would have got covered with this. That's what would happen. Look at that. Protective surfaces. For free. Alright, I'm going to change over cameras. First, I'm going to hit some of the bare areas on the hood. There's none on the bumper, but I'm going to hit some of the bare areas on the hood with some self-etching primer. And this plastic piece for in the grill, I'm going to hit that with the Bulldog adhesion promoter. I got a new can. And this isn't like... If this piece gets messed up, I just won't use it. But I think I want to put it on this truck, so... We're going to see how that turns out. Okay, my worry now is it didn't stay cool in here for very long, so it's getting warm. My worry is that the paint coats are going to dry too quick and it's not going to give me a good finish. So we'll see. Now this is just black, nothing special, it's just black. Okay, I mean, I don't mean there's nothing special, but you know what I mean. Alright, so we're going to clean the gun. You see I put a swivel on here, and then this swivels. Very nice. I'm a little scared down here today. I killed a spider over by the toilet over there, the size of Stewie. I saved this family. I really like this guy. It's another Spectrum gun, but this is the Black Widow, which is the Mamma Jamma. This is the top of the line that Harbor Freight carries. And I probably will be getting the clear coating gun here eventually, but man, this thing throws so much paint out. It's ridiculous. But I always spray cleaner in it before I come down. That lets it soak inside there. And I already did clean this gun one time, but we're gonna clean it again. So in between my coats, this is what I do. And I have some acetone in a cup, and I normally just throw my parts in there. So you wanna go ahead and disassemble this, get your needle out, or your jet, and then, and that's a piece of the inside. These actually have an extra piece in them that the cheap guns don't have. I don't honestly know what it does, but I know how it goes in. So then the needle comes out the back, there, throw that in there, and then I normally thoroughly spray the inside of this and inside of here, and then on top of that, get a brush out that I have in this acetone and just run it inside there and dip it, give it a couple dips, get in there. And then they give you some brushes with these guns. Like this one came with this brush, which is a little bit different, lets you get in different crevices and stuff. But spray it, you know, get in there with the brush, get in here, just thoroughly spray it out. Have some rags nearby. I'll use them until they're falling apart, and just wipe some of that acetone out the most that you can. It'll evaporate, but for the most part, and don't go crazy with this, because you'll get like lint inside your gun, and that can transfer onto your paint. That's not what you want. So now this part of the gun is clean. Now we have the rest of the parts to clean. So the needle, have something out that you can set everything on. We get a new rag here. The needle, you really only have to wipe the end of that thing off. It's clean. Find the jet, it's in here, right there. Sometimes you get a toothpick and pick in there, or you can get a brush and run inside the inside of that. Give it a little blow. Give it a blow job. You tell your mom about that. Get this plastic piece that I don't even know that this even needs cleaned, but I don't know what this does. I think it has something to do with the spray pattern. When you blow on these, if they have acetone on them, it dries the acetone rate up like almost instantly. And then the last piece is the actual nozzle, the outer nozzle. Get it, wipe it down thoroughly. Yeah, this is part of a video that I have never shown before, is me cleaning my guns in between coats here. So look at that, getting some extra footage you never got before. Then it's just as simple as throwing this back together, and there's really not many parts to it. Throw your needle in, your spring. I don't know if there's a particular order these are supposed to go. I just throw it back together. Pull your trigger in. Oh, wait a minute. Before you do that, you gotta put this thing in. Those cheaper guns don't have this. The Spectrum guns do. I still don't know what it is. But it sits in there. There we go. Goes in a certain spot. Put that in. Pull the trigger. Twist it on until it stops. And then make sure you tighten this, because that's what happened that one time when my gun wasn't spraying right. I didn't tighten this up. And you don't have to go hog wild on it. Just give it a little crank. Give it some crank. I'll give her some crank. All right. And I normally line them up, but it don't really matter. And when I'm done, I take one of these caps from those quick cups and just stick it in there. So that way, no dirt and stuff gets in there. When I go to use it, I pop that off. And there you go. Clean gun. Look at this. I'm getting a little carried away here. So now it is time for the most important part of your paint, and that is your clear coat. That's your protective coat, your UV coating. It protects your paint and it makes it very shiny. So paint job looks pretty good right now, but it's going to look even better with the clear coat on it.
If you ask why I mix it in this cup and then throw it in there, you can mix more in one of these than what these ratios are. So I mix as much as I can in there so that these are full whenever I do fill them. And I'm not like right here, or you get what I'm saying? Get as much for your money as you can. These throwaway cups are nice for cleaning, not for your wallet. They're not expensive, but it is cheaper just to use the cups that come with the gun. It's getting warm in here, and that's not a good thing for my paint job. I'm gonna do 7 parts of this. Now this is a hardener, and this is the one that sometimes the lids get stuck on them. This one I got. If you get any crud around the lid, pick it off. You're gonna have to filter that because that's gonna get in there, no doubt. I am probably gonna have to open up another thing of hardener because this is all but gone. This being a black paint job, it's a lot easier to see your clear coat line when you're spraying it, your wet line, as opposed to white. White is about the hardest, so that should make this a little bit easier. I got a couple in there. These are not made for this, but this just kind of works out this way. Hold this, dump this. This is our other Spectrum gun. This is the cheaper version of the Black Widow. Worked really good though. Last paint job I was very happy with this gun, so let's hope that this continues for this one. See, look how much, I wish I could have filled that even more, but that lid holds a lot. Okay, game time.
Hey, it's amazing the subtle games that you I play, and you don't even know I exist. But you have got me on your hit list. Hey, you're just bad. Girl, you are sexual and bad, and now you got this on your conscience. Because now I'm unresponsive. Chest as you watch me bleed. Every kick drum hit is a symphony.
Alright fellas, third coat. It's game time. Floor's still wet. I had to pick one bug off of this, so that was before the clear. Minimal trash, we have a little bit. Not bad. Our coating, it could be smoother, but that is because it's so hot that it's drying too fast. So let's make it good. Last coat.
Slow-mo, pull me into the light, the light. There are people watching us, wishing they were obvious, instead of giving into the fright, the fright.
Is this perfect? I will say this every time. No. For a garage paint job, this looks really, really good. The only downside with spraying in an area like this, there's trash in the paint. It's going to happen. You don't have a controlled environment. You don't have a booth. There's going to be dirt. There's going to be trash in it. I put 3 coats on. You should be able to buff most of it out. I'm not good at buffing. I already ruined one clear coat once. I think if I do get this buffed by somebody, I think I'm going to take it to somebody that knows what they're doing. There was a bug that got in it and the base coat there, so there's clear over it, but there's a couple little spots there. There's little spots all over the hood. There's a little spot there. It's good, okay? This is acceptable, especially for a garage. So I'm not trying to justify it. I'm just telling you that's how it is. I've done many in here, and it gets dustier in here every time, which makes it harder to get a good paint job every time. At least I keep telling myself that. So, I mean, if it makes me feel good, then what's it matter? This fender turned out really nice, though. So tomorrow, after I go to the gym, I'm going to demask everything. I don't think I'm going to put it back together tomorrow because I want to give this paint ample time to dry. This bumper has a lot of weight to it, and once you add all the brackets and everything on it, it makes it way heavier, and I don't want to have this sitting on the paint when it's not fully cured yet. So I'm going to give it like a full 24 hours, and maybe the next day. That'll be on this video, but we'll assemble that bumper then after that. The grill, I ought to be able to assemble that tomorrow, and we'll demask everything. Maybe I'll start throwing it together then. But my bodywork fender, not too shabby. I mean, that looks really good. I can still, if you look at it at a certain angle, I can see just slight waves to it, but man, that bodywork turned out really, really good. Now the hood, I've done better. I can see, if you look at it in certain angles, I don't know if it's going to come up on camera. I can still kind of see where the bodywork was done. Am I worried about it? No. I'm not redoing the hood because of that. If I am redoing the hood, I'm putting another hood on it. This was a failed attempt at fixing an aluminum hood, but I tried. But from 10 feet, nah, that's a pretty good job. That's a 10-footer. And also, when I fixed up this fender, there was a dent on top, and I totally forgot about it, and I didn't fix it. So there's still a dent on top of there. This truck's not going to be perfect, okay? None of my cars are perfect. They are acceptable, just like me. That's why my wife's with me, because I'm acceptable. All right, you turds. We'll see you tomorrow. Good. Now, since I have the seatbelts in, all the lights are cleared and stuff on this. This should, in return, start the truck now. Just like I said. And it should stop it as well. Oh, hold it in. There we go. All right. Now, as you can see, I went ahead and put the grill together. I like that. I'm leaving that on there. You want to know why I like that? Because I washed this with that off, and washing this grill section sucks. So this kind of covers up a lot of it, so I don't have to clean that. So yeah, that's how we're rolling it. These lights right here, I'm going to wire them into that switchboard on the inside that the compressors hooked up to, but I found out that switchboard doesn't work unless you have that power wire hooked up. So I'm going to run that power wire over to the fuse panel, and we're going to make it a key on power so that that switchboard isn't on all the time. But also it saves how you have the buttons set. So if I turn these on through that switchboard, next time I turn the key on, they should come on. When I turn the key off, they should go off. It's the simple things. Anyways, I wanted to stick the bug guard on there, but I talked to somebody and they said with, cheaper paint like this, they said you kind of want to give it like a week to dry. So I'm not going to stick that on right now. In fact, I'm probably not even going to stick it on for the inspection. Next week, we'll stick it on there. But right now, I don't want to compromise my paint because it is not dry yet. That's why I'm not assembling the bumper yet. But this is also going to be the end of this video. Next video is going to be the final assembly of the truck. I'm going to try to shift the bed. I know I said I was going to take the bed off. We are still going to do that in a future time. But right now, I want to try to get that bed shifted just to line it up a little bit better. We'll get the bumper together. We'll get everything assembled on the truck and ready to go. And possibly even test drive it in the next video. So if you like what I'm doing here, hit that like button. Drop me a comment. Let me know how you like it. You like the truck? You like the all blacked out look? Kind of getting away. Everything I have was white for the longest time. So we had to have the dark horse here. Hit that dislike button if your mom wants to go for a ride in the back seat when I get her finished. And we'll see you on the next episode on Rex. Why do you have to be the troubled child? I don't know if he's sick. He just didn't eat his lunch today, and he's normally on top of that. Yeah? Why doesn't your sister get sick? And it's always you. You're getting into stuff you're not supposed to. You want to say bye-bye? You say bye-bye to the people? Say bye-bye.